One of the biggest complaints that I hear from authors is that they don't like marketing and they don't know what to do for their marketing. And marketing takes so much time, but it doesn't have to. I have been teaching authors how to do this for many, many years. I do it myself and it saves so much time and effort because I do it before my book is out and I do it while I'm writing my story because I am very future-minded and you as an author should be too. If you are doing the work while you're doing the things that you're doing, you're saving yourself time and effort. Because think about it. Most authors write their entire novel, they edit their novel, they get it all ready for publishing, eventually it comes out to the public, and then they start to market. They then have to remember all the things that they wrote, all the characters, all the lines that they wrote. They have to go back and they have to do their research and go through the pages of the books. They have to talk to their audience. There's a lot of recon you have to do to market your book if you wait until after the book is ready to go to market it. But it doesn't have to be that hard. You can do this while you're writing. It's actually really easy. So as you are writing your book, you should be keeping a running timeline of everything that is happening inside of that book. You should have the chapter, the page number in your Word doc, and then bullet points of everything that happens. That is just common sense for authors to have so that you can easily find things later on. You know exactly what happened. You don't have to go and look through your manuscript to find something that you did, 2 months ago as you were writing. And you can then easily look things up when you need to for your marketing later on. So having that running timeline, very important. But as big things start to happen, you're also writing down marketing notes. So if you write a fire line, write it in a Word doc. If there's a passage, like a paragraph that's just good, it's just a good paragraph, copy and paste it into a document. All these things are going to be marketing graphics, voiceovers, etc. as you're marketing later on. As you're writing them, make a note. And then if you don't like it, delete it later. That's fine. But this way you don't have to go back and flip through the pages of your book to find things to put on marketing graphics, to put in your different marketing sales pages. You don't have to go and look for these things after the fact. Do it as it happens. If you're writing something really cool and you start to think from a marketing perspective, you're going to start to think, oh, I can use this as some form of swag. I can use this on a poster. I can use this scene for character art. I can do these different things. Make those notes. Write things down. If you have something that just worked really well, make the marketing graphic. Make the sales page. If you're doing this as you're doing the work, now you don't have to do the secondary work of going back to look these things up. Taking notes, writing things down, and being marketing focused is really good because as you are writing something with a marketing perspective in mind, knowing you're going to need quotes, knowing you're going to need scenes, knowing you're going to need those big moments that will get people's attention, knowing you're going to need a page that you're going to put on Book Talk, all those things, if you can capture those while you're doing them, that saves you potential hours going back and looking for these things and then just trying to remember it. Let's be real. I'm a prolific writer. A lot of you are too. It is not easy to remember the small details of our books, especially if we wrote them 3 years earlier, 7 years earlier, 10 years earlier. So keeping those notes somewhere is going to be helpful. Making sure that you are paying attention and you know what you need to market allows you to create it while you're writing, both inside of the story and inside of your marketing plan. You can, when you have done a really good writing session, take a couple of things that worked really well for you and just take 10 minutes and make some marketing graphics and tuck them away in a folder. Now, when it comes time to market, you've already got all that work done. This was kind of your decompression from your writing that day. Or maybe that's how you're getting into your writing the next day. You take 10 minutes to create one marketing graphic or one voiceover for a video that you're eventually going to use, and you're just going to store them in folders on your computer so that when you release it and when you're marketing your backlog of your books, you've got those things. They are there, they're easily accessible, and they're already done. It's so easy to be taking these notes as you are writing your book. So often we just write the book and we think that that's it. It's going to market itself, and it's not. You have to make sure that you're thinking ahead. So what type of marketing you're going to be doing? Quote graphics, things in your caption. You're going to need sales pages. You are going to need videos. You're going to need different types of content. You're going to need YouTube videos. So I do a lot of YouTube videos. You should be doing YouTube videos too. Absolutely, their monetization is elite compared to all of the other platforms. If I'm writing my book, I can start paying attention to things I could use as a YouTube video. So if I just wrote a really good scene that was like an epic fight scene and she saves him from a villain or something, I can write down a title of a YouTube video why I chose to have the girl save the guy in this book, why I wrote this fight scene, how I wrote this fight scene, how I watched 7 movies to then create my fight scene inside of my book. You can come up with YouTube topics, TikTok topics, Instagram topics. You don't have to do the entirety of the work. Maybe you do just want the ideas. So the titles, the taglines, the bullet points, and then when it comes time, you're going to film those then or create those then. But making those notes of different things you can discuss, why you did things, how you did things, what was going on when you did these things. If you know you just wrote a really big scene that your fans are going to throw things across the room over, write down a couple of different ideas on how you could approach that for content, for YouTube videos, for TikToks, short form, long form, for live stream interviews. You can even write down really good interview questions and then just tack those on your website. If you're interviewing me about these books, you can ask questions like this so that even if they didn't read the entire book, they're really bad at asking interview questions because my gosh, some of them are. You've got those things there, which can then, again, facilitate the things that you're going to be doing. Whether you were doing written interviews or you're going to be on a TV show or a live stream or a podcast, whether you're going to be creating content for your own channels or for other people's channels, you've got so much stuff to make it easy. You're taking the burden of figuring things out after you have that completed work off the table. And you are creating every single day, or maybe every single chapter, you are going to write down one TikTok you can make based on something that happened in that chapter. You're going to create one YouTube video on how the behind the scenes of why you wrote the things that you wrote. You're going to create a list of like 5 different things that you're going to be doing after every writing session. Making that simple list and taking 30 seconds to think of it while you're still in the zone and thinking about what you just wrote saves you time and effort. And then you don't have to remember all those little details. If you're just waiting to come up with YouTube videos until you're all done, you're not going to get very far. Or maybe you'll get 2 or 3, but you're not going to get 17. You're not going to get 20. You're not going to get 23 for every chapter that you've got inside of that book, right? Doing it while you're doing it relieves so much stress. So much time commitment and so many headaches trying to go back and look at what you wrote in the book and remember it, especially if it's like a couple years later on. Having those notes, and I did this. Now, I did this. I do this for my books. I take notes. I pay attention. I've got a full plan. It just means that then I can go back and revisit those. So I actually have lists of things that I can do for my different books or different chapters or different characters or different whatever. And I can just pull those things up and I have a new perspective on it year after year. So every single year, I can do the same things, but from a different perspective. I don't have to keep thinking and reinventing the wheel as I'm creating content. Make your bullet point list of the main stuff, the things that you're thinking of right now. And then every couple of months, just revisit that list and put a new spin on it. You don't even have to necessarily put a new spin on it, just record it. The way that you're speaking about it, the way that you're approaching it from your life experiences and from what's going on and from the time of year and all of the things gives it a new flair, even if it's the exact same topic. So we are not wasting time figuring out our marketing after the book has come out unless we absolutely have to. I would much rather see you do a list of ideas and even create some of that stuff while you were working, because you could do it in 30 seconds while you're in the zone getting all the stuff done, or you can spend 30 days trying to figure that out after the fact. And I just don't see a point in wasting our time like that. I want you to make the most of your time so you can get your writing done, live your best author life, while also still having a life. Because we all know it's hard to write a book. It's time consuming. It takes a lot out of us. And there's just no reason for us to have this heavy weight of marketing when it could be so simple and we do it while we go so that it's easy breezy and so simple for us to do when it comes time to actually market that book. And there's a whole playlist on marketing your book. And I have a whole YouTube channel on marketing your online business. It's an entire channel, youtube.com/KMRobinson, where I teach you how to do content for all these social platforms in under 5 minutes, start to finish, every single time, from conception of the idea to actually posting it and having it out there for 90% of the content you do. Short form, not long form, obviously. So go check out that channel, drop your questions down below, and follow along for videos here on this channel all about how now you navigate the world of your publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable year ever with least amount of stress and overwhelm. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.